Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This time I want to show you one of the most involved and satisfying projects we've worked on recently. Restoring a gorgeous period property at Pembridge Gardens, right in the heart of Notting Hill. Now this isn't just any property, it's a proper Georgian townhouse. Grade 2 listed and full of all the charm and detail you'd expect, but it was definitely showing its age. The owners got in touch because they said they wanted a full restoration survey, and I'm glad they did, because once we got up close, we found a fair bit going on. We found decayed pointing, bricks that were literally falling apart, lead flashings lifting, gutters leaking, and water creeping in all over the place. And when we looked at the roof, things got even worse. At some point in the past, someone had laid torch-on felt directly over the original mastic asphalt. It might have seemed like a quick fix at the time, but it was failing badly. Cracked, splitting, and just holding water where it shouldn't. That kind of repair doesn't belong on a listed building. The rear dormer roof had also seen better days. The old asphalt was shrinking and cracking, and the lead had split wide open. Every time it rained, water was getting into the timbers beneath. We also checked the chimney stacks and parapet walls. The render was blown in loads of places, drip details had been buried, and water was just soaking straight back into the building. At that point, it was clear. Before we could even think about sorting out the inside, we had to put the outside right. So we put together a proper plan of action. The external brickwork had suffered from decades of weathering and piecemeal repairs. Dozens of bricks were fractured, flaking, or missing altogether. Each damaged brick was then meticulously cut out. We used hand tools to avoid damaging the surrounding masonry. We then sourced matching reclaimed London stock bricks, aged, weathered, and true to the original in size and tone. Each brick was laid with precision, matched course by course, line by line. The goal was simple: restore the facade without it looking new, seamless, invisible, and historically correct. The pointing had failed in long sections. Water had been tracking into joints, soaking into the wall core. We raked out the existing cement-based pointing by hand. Mechanical tools would risk damaging the surrounding brick edges, so we used traditional chisels and brushes. Then we repointed the entire elevation using a heritage lime mortar. Lime mortar has been used for centuries in buildings like this. It breathes, it moves with the building, it allows moisture to escape naturally, and it ages with dignity. Every joint was filled, compacted, and brushed back by hand to a traditional finish, not just for performance, but for aesthetics too. The original mastic asphalt roof had been buried beneath a layer of modern torch-on felt, a decision that might have seemed practical at the time, but caused more harm than good. A torch-on felt isn't compatible with historic materials. It traps moisture between layers, preventing the building from breathing. Over time, that moisture builds up, accelerating decay in the original asphalt below and causing hidden leaks to spread undetected. So we stripped it away completely, layer by layer, until the original substrate was exposed and assessed. Only then could we begin preparing the deck properly for new asphalt, reinstated using hot works just as it would have been done historically. The new mastic asphalt was melted and poured, laid in controlled layers, and then finished by hand with trowels to create a seamless, waterproof surface, functional, durable, and true to the character of the building. The chimney stacks and parapets had been coated in thick, impervious layers of modern cement render. Likely applied decades ago in an attempt to seal the structure, it had done more harm than good. Cement-based renders don't breathe. They trap moisture behind the surface, creating pressure pockets that build up over time. Eventually, that pressure has nowhere to go, and the render begins to blow. You see bulges, cracks, and eventually large sections breaking away entirely. But what's worse is what happens underneath. The bricks beneath had begun to crumble. Constant moisture exposure had eroded the faces. Lime-based mortars had been washed out. In some cases, the wall behind the render was saturated. So we removed it slowly, carefully, but by hand, brick by brick, because under every centimeter of render was another part of the building's history. Every inch of this process was about stripping back what shouldn't have been added and revealing what was always meant to be there. We also restored the original stonework across both the front and key areas on the roof. At the entrance, the stone balustrade had suffered from years of weathering. Dirt streaks, algae growth, and cracked paint had dulled its appearance. It's one of the first things you notice walking up to the property, so we took time to bring it back. We started with a careful clean. No harsh methods, just the right approach to lift grime without harming the stone beneath. On the roof, it was a different story. The existing coping stones had deteriorated beyond repair. So rather than patching or repainting, we made the call to replace them entirely. New stone was sourced to match the originals, in size, profile, and color. Each coping stone was cut and set into place with great care, ensuring water would once again be properly deflected from the tops of parapets and walls. Now, let's take a moment to step back and really see the difference. If you enjoyed seeing this kind of restoration, be sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. We've got more projects like this on the way, and if you're into architecture, restoration, or just seeing the before and afters that bring places back to life, stick around. See you on the next one.